Today we're continuing our look at each episode of Star Wars Visions Volume 3 with The Lost Ones by Kinema Citrus. This is the sequel to The Village Bride, a fan favorite of Visions Volume 1. I would say it's one of my favorites of this volume too, mostly for the duel between F and Shad Ra, but we'll get to that. We start with F on a planet looking for an old friend who can repair her mechanical leg, but she comes to find that it's slowly being frozen by leaking carbonite mines. Right at the start, that is just a cool Star Wars concept, taking something familiar we know and putting a new twist on it that, I'm not sure it would work fully in canon, but who cares? This is Visions, let's get creative. Some refugees from the planet keep returning to harvest carbonite gas so they can research it and stop the planet from freezing, and they do so dressed like Marty McFly when he's pretending to be Darth Vader in Back to the Future. So they meet F and take her to their ship, where she meets her friend, heals up, and talks to a lot of curious children. The Empire shows up for F, and it's suggested that they were tipped off by one of the refugees. I think it was Theo, but the short wasn't very explicit about that. There are some elements of the story that I think could have been made more clear. Who turned F in? When? Do they regret it? Is there any fallout from that decision? I also wish we had learned a little more about F's past with Shad Ra, her former Jedi Master. He's on board that Star Destroyer, but apparently died and was brought back to life? Was that in Order 66? The Clone Wars certainly seem to have happened in The Village Bride. Is he an Inquisitor now? What is his role in the Empire? I have a lot of questions, but I ultimately don't care because I really liked F's conversation with him. She is, of course, shocked he's still alive, but she's also shocked to see he's with the Empire. He's turned against the ways of the Jedi, and he is fully with the dark side, consumed by hatred. He calls her misguided, but in the end, she chooses to continue to protect people and to live as her master once taught her. I love that. I can relate to seeing people who shaped and taught you changing, whether it's family members or friends or teachers. I was raised to believe in accepting and loving others as myself, to be selfless and to help and to not be ruled by fear of those who are different. And it hurts to see some of those people begin to think the lessons they raised me with are all of a sudden misguided. But I know where I stand, and like F, I can choose to live as they taught me, not how they currently are. I loved the end of their duel. F prepares to attack just like she did in The Village Bride, and I started to get all excited that she was gonna do the thing, but instead she does this over-the-top flip very similar to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, and just like Anakin, she loses both legs and an arm. But this wasn't an act of power and pride, it was an act of sacrifice to get in close and use that carbonite gas to freeze Shad Ra. That was rad. Fortunately, Ron, one of the refugees, came with her, and he's able to rescue her after placing carbonite all over the ship. They escape as the Star Destroyer crashes into the planet below, which I would consider to be a chopper-level act of violence against the Empire. Well done, Ron. I really enjoyed The Lost Ones. It wasn't my favorite of the volume, but I really loved F and Shad Ra. I wish we got more of it. I think this short would have benefited from a little extra runtime just to clear up some of the events and to give us more context into F's past. But it was enough that I understood everything and I dug it. Let me know what you thought of the short in the comments. I'll be covering the rest of Volume 3 in the coming days, so make sure you catch those videos by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, following us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.